Hello, Libra. Welcome to your October 21st to the 31st reading, 10-day reading. We're going to see what Spirit has for you, what Spirit wants for you, what energy Spirit wants you in first. We're going into the Shaman's deck. But we're going to see what's going on overall as you close out this month, our month, okay? As we close out our month, October, okay? Um, so we're going to see. All right, so let's see what the messages Spirit has for us first. All right, this is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. The energy. Get your overall energy here. Okay. All right. Okay. So based off of your cards coming out here, Libra, one of the things that I can say right now for you based on your spread, is there's a need for you to kind of get back in tune with yourself. There is a need for you to do less talking until the end of the month. Definitely less talking. There is a need for you to surrender, okay? Let go of something, loosen up control. There's something that you could be possibly trying to control. You want it done a certain type of way. And not saying that it won't get done, but if you are hell-bent on something going your way, you won't even know if it happens because you're hell-bent on it going like A, B, C, D in that order. So there's a need for you to kind of like loosen up control. Also, I could feel this energy though of you being lost, okay, of your mind being all over the place. You may have a lot of brain fog, a lot of confusion, a lot of things that's happening. There is a need for you to tune into your shadow a little bit. There's some type of treasures and hidden treasures in your shadow. I do also feel like that you're moving to a stage of completion here with this closing door. There's some type of cycle that's done. Yeah, with the sky bridge and completion, I feel like there's a cycle that's done and you only have limited time. It's like the moment that you step on something, the moment that you continue to go forward, it's like the disappearing bridge. Like the moment when you step and the bridge is slowly disappearing here, the sky bridge, and now you're on the other side and there's no going back. So the moment that you close something or you complete something, there is no going back to this other thing. And I feel like you could make up your mind or something like that. This is it. This is done. There is no going back. I do also feel like that there's a need for you to surrender to that process though. For some of you guys, you could be trying to keep one foot in, one foot out, and there's a need for you to kind of like fully embrace this. It seems like if you were to let go and flow, you'll be flowing right into this new beginning. You'll be flowing right into this completion. You'll be flowing right into opening this new door, but it also it requires you to close a door. I do also feel like there could be something going on that you are thinking about that's taking your attention away from something else. So there's something that is on your mind, like heavily, that you are like heavily thinking about and is taking away all of your attention from something that you need to really be focused on. So I feel like the message could be today is kind of like, make sure you hit your deadlines. Make sure you hit there's some things that you need to do. And for some of you guys, there may be actual deadlines, some things that you really, really need to do by the end of the month. And there's something else that's making you lose focus. I do feel like the fact that things are changing, change is inevitable, and there is a huge change that's happening within you or outside of you where you can't go back afterwards, where this is completion. I do also feel like for some of you guys, you can be getting like some closure. I feel like for some of you guys, you can be afraid to kind of like close the door on a person, on a thing, okay, on an environment, because you could be fearing the unknown. Something just told me that there is There's a feeling of not of not wanting to be alone too. You do have skywriting here, okay? So this skywriting energy is the energy of the fates happening. Like something is fated, okay? Something is definitely fated. It's the skywriting. This is God's will. Like something is going to be. And the longer that you procrastinate on something, or the longer that you kind of try to control something or be resistant to some type of change, the harder something could definitely be on you. And there is a need for you to kind of learning how to go with the wind, learning how to just be flexible at this time. Now your shadow keeps on coming up to me, and your shadow keeps on coming up. It feels like that there is something that your shadow self is trying to tell you that you don't really want to listen to right now. And I do feel like your shadow self is that thing that's going to get you on track. So there is a need for some really really deep shadow work, okay? I do feel like you could be complaining a lot about something. And as I can see this finger is like, shh, be quiet and just surrender to the change. There's some type of change that is happening. Be quiet and just surrender to the change. I do also feel like that you could be looking everywhere outside of yourself. We did talk about this outside validation that's been happening a lot, that has been making you kind of like get off of alignment. And for some of you guys, you could be trying to fit the mold and do what everybody else is doing, but there's a need for you to see like, what do I want to do? So I do feel like that there is some type of like, stop complaining, or stop trying to talk your way out of something, or stop talking, period. I do also feel like there is a reactive period where you keep on reacting to certain types of things. And remember, the moment that you react to something, you kind of make it very, very real for you. So I'm going off the idea that everything in the universe is an illusion of what's going on in your mind. Now, if you have manifested something in your actual physical life that you don't really want, you don't then throw energy to it. You ignore it. You completely say, this is not real. I can create a new one. I can create something else. So I do feel like something is really, really that simple. You can create a new one. Like you can create something else. You don't really have to, even if you manifested something, even if you brought something into your life, even if you got into agreement with something, there is this comforting feeling where you can create a new one. I do feel like in going back into the creating process, you can be afraid of what you could be attracting. For some of you guys, you could have fallen out of trust with yourself. Like you don't trust yourself to kind of like make the right choices for you. But there is this new energy where you can, once you see yourself as the creator, I can create something new. I can manifest something new. All I have to do is kind of believe it, speak it, do certain actions, follow my ideas, tap into my intuition and things like that, and I'll have a whole new reality. I feel like something is that easy, but something is making you feel fear, maybe failed mistakes. Something is making you feel like it's not that easy. Like as I'm saying this, I can hear like my shadow self even saying like, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Or my ego saying, but it's not that easy. It's complicated. Like for some of you guys, you're making something complicated. You're making something more complicated than it needs to be. But the closing door is completion. The closing door is actually a graduation. The closing door is kind of like the world card. It's you completing a certain type of level in your life and you're going to the next level. So I do feel like for some of you guys, you are just really, really scared right now. Just very, very scared about what is happening or what is transpiring or what is going to happen next. For some of you guys, you could be clutching down, like trying to, or reacting to what you think, the worst of what's going to happen. Or you could be possibly placing yourself in the worst case scenario settings already when something did not even happen yet. So there's a need for you to be quiet. Don't let your mouth talk you out of your blessings. There's also a need for you to kind of like loosen loosen up control. Also understand that you are closing the door and you are going to another stage in your life. This could be like career, relationships, any type of stages. This just means that something is not going to be like you're closing the door. The bridge to that old is going to be gone, and now you're in this new dimension. I do have one more thing too. Someone has changed, and you're trying to hold on to this old identity of yourself for dear life, but you have changed, and there's a lot of things around you that needs to change too. And for some of you guys, you can be trying to still fit yourself in old environments with old friends, with old people. Like, I do feel like you do have this thing where you're cutting things out of your way, so you can be breaking bonds with a lot of people, breaking agreements, cutting energy cords every way, every which and way. And I do feel like before you do this, there is a point in where you're like, I don't know what's next though. And then it's kind of you're kind of blaming yourself, the creator in you, because you kind of understand that there's a part of me that called this thing into. And that's why I feel like that the treasures hidden in the shadows, which is in your shadow, the willow the wisp here, the treasures that's hidden in the shadow is, instead of blaming yourself, get real intimate with the parts of yourself that actually called this thing into your life, or called something into your life that you feel like you may need to break away from. We do have the permission to change our minds about a lot of things. We have the permission to turn, to pivot, to make different choices. And I do feel like you can be beating yourself up a little bit about some choices that you previously made that made you that you're dealing with now. This could be people, relationships. You realize, like, I don't really like this person, or for who I'm becoming, this person is just not for me. Or you're realizing that I don't really like this job, and for the person that I'm becoming, this job does not really sustain me. I don't really like my house, okay? And for the person that I'm becoming, like, this house doesn't sustain me. But there's a reason. There's a part of you that chose it, and there's a need for you to get intimate with that part of you that chose that very thing that you see that is not a true reflection of you. Also, I go into this state of you understanding what your true reflection is. A lot of the times we kind of pull people in our lives that we feel like reflect us. A lot of the times it's the person that reflects the child in us, the shadow in us, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the level that we're on. And I do feel like God kind of brings these people in our life so you can say, okay, so this is what you think you are. Now, are you that? And I feel like you are unidentifying with certain things because you are realizing self-worth. You're understanding that, no, I am not that. No, I don't resonate with that. No, I'm not this environment. No, I'm not this relationship. No, I'm not. And I feel like as you break bonds with these things, no matter how scary they are going to be, you kind of build a new bond with yourself. You are getting a better understanding of who it is that you are, so you're able to kind of attract different things in your life, if that makes sense for you. Thank you so much, Spirit. All right, let's go into your reading, and we're going to see what is going to be going on for these 10 days, the 21st of October to the 31st of October. Okay. First, I'm going to be going into the Awaken Tarot for the overall energy of what's happening. Now, this is the energy, that was the energy that Spirit wants you to get into, is being okay with being uncomfortable, period. And it's okay for you to cut things out of your life. You're realizing that certain things, you don't identify with certain things anymore. And you understand that after you go, there's a deep knowing that that once you get on this bridge, or once you cross this bridge, there will be no going back. And I do feel like that no going back is kind of afraid. It's scary for you. It triggers you in a way where you feel like you always want to be able to have access to something, or always want something or someone to have access with you. The thought of not having access at all, either you or them or that, the thought of not having access at all, the thought that there is no coming back after this, that kind of scares you. But I do feel like you need to honor that part of yourself, especially if somebody wronged you in a way where there is a time where there's a need for you to cut something off completely, and you know that there is absolutely no coming back after this. Okay. um all right, so let's see. First card coming on now is the Eight of Cups. You leaving something, abandoning it. And you know the moment that you leave it, it is no, you're not going back. You're not coming back. No, it's a set in stone. But look at what you're walking right into. You're walking right into this 10, this Wheel of Fortune, this completion, but also this new beginning. And boom, we have the World card, which we've been talking about. So you're going into this whole change, and this can be a complete change with self. This could be a change in identity. This could be a change in job. This could be friendship. This could be a relationship change. So you're going through this whole complete change right now, and you are at the very first stage where you're making the decision to walk away from something. You're making the decision to completely abandon something. This is when Libra the ghost comes out. Okay, you're complete. You understand, and for some of you guys, you may ghost because you may know that this is the dark side coming out. You may know that after I do this, it's no coming back. Have you ever played with fire like that? Yeah, you have. I know y'all. You have played with fire like that. Like, I'm going to do this bad thing because I know that this bad thing, this is the ultimate low blow and there's no coming back after this. Okay? So for some of you guys, you may leave some shit where it's at. You see, he leaves the cups where they at, where they are. It's no, like, let me take this, let me take what's mine, for some of you guys, you are just gone, okay? Completely gone, completely, your back is already turned to something, okay? But you're kind of like, you're still in clear view where you can actually go back. You're still in this kind of energy where you're like, I don't know. And I do feel like if you're in this type of energy where you feel like something isn't serving you emotionally, that's the Eight of Cups. You don't know what's out there, but you know what's in here isn't serving you emotionally, okay? And there's going to be a need for you to kind of like take a leap of faith at this time where you don't feel certain, where you don't feel as confident, where you don't feel as secure in your choices right now, because we are a mental sign and this is the cups, okay? We are a very, very mental sign and this is the cups. Now, mentally, you can say everyone makes mistakes. I mean, there could have been times where I wasn't serving something emotionally. Maybe this is just a rough patch. Mentally, you can think this through. But when we get into our emotions, we kind of get scared a little bit because that is just not our number one. That is just not how we're wired, okay? And I know everybody wants to say, we go and fit feelings mean. And even if you are a feminine, that thinks. You are a mastermind feminine. That's probably why you may have very, very intellectual conversations with people, especially the masculine, because Libra is a masculine sign. So you probably can connect with masculines. You probably are like a person who does a job where it requires a lot of thought processes, or it acquires some type of converse. We are very, very good conversationalist pieces. That's because we are very intellectual. Now, when we take our mind out of something and now we're going based off of our heart and our feelings, the uncomfortableness comes from it feeling weak. You're weak. You may think that you're weak because of a certain thing, because you let something hurt your feelings, or because your feelings actually got hurt in a certain position. And then we have this masculine mind thing where we can like tough it out. Libras are like, if we had tough it out, as like we are the definition of just toughing things out. We are the definition of just compromising, just going with the flow. We are like the pleasers, the people pleasers, where we want to make sure everything's okay, everybody's all right. Like we the perfect hostess that's going to go around making sure everybody's all right, but we didn't get a drink, and we did not, and we're not even the damn hostess. It's our birthday. We supposed to be sitting down eating cake, and we sitting there worried about how you feeling, how you doing, how you doing, how you doing, and you kind of get back into your feelings and your emotions. Where who's checking on me? Does anybody care how I'm feeling? Does anybody care if I had a drink? And I do feel like in this stage of this transition, you're kind of getting, you're kind of transforming. And I feel like as a whole, we are transforming to this new space where we're kind of putting our feelings first, and that is very, very scary territory. And I do feel like, and you do have this thing because you've held so many things in. You didn't let this just be one cup and say, you know what, I don't like this one cup, I'm out. You let shit build up to 8 cups, okay? You let something build all the way up to a ticking time bomb right now where you may say some shit, you may cuss somebody out, and you may just spill your feelings or something over that. And that is probably why your shadow is like, let me handle it, let me say what I gotta say. Because the moment that you say, when you let your shadow say exactly what your shadow has to say, then you're gonna know the direction to go in. It's just gonna be fated for you. You're gonna have to go in that direction. And for some of you guys, you get scary. You get scary when that point comes. When you get to the point of like, I had enough. And this is just this feeling of just like being fed up. In a sense of like, you let something build. You thought a person would get it off of 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cups, 4 cups. You mean it took you 8 cups and you still don't know what's going on? And I do feel like that there's a person who, their lack of intelligence of what's happening is bothering, is pissing you off too. The fact that a person doesn't know that this is hurting you, the fact that a person acts oblivious to your feelings, that's it. There's something that is oblivious to your feelings, like you don't have any. And I don't know if that's how you present it. That's probably why you're scared. That's probably why you're thinking like, well, I did present myself in a certain type of way, and I did da 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 da, and I did, and I feel like you could be blaming yourself in a sense, but there is a need for a person to really acknowledge your feelings. And I feel like with all of these beautiful cards that you're stepping into and this completion, I feel like you are completing that cycle, that karmic cycle of getting in bonds with people who don't see you. I feel like we all can relate to being in relationships and jobs and environments that don't necessarily acknowledge our feelings and acknowledge our needs and acknowledge, our wants even. And then here you are, the hostess with the mostest, giving everybody exactly what you feel like they need because you're very, very thoughtful. And all you want is for a person to be thoughtful when it comes to you. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense for you. And we just on the 8 of Cups here. Now, here you are going, and you're on this path, okay? And there is going to be a very, very fated moment that happens. That was going to happen. This was written in the book of all books, okay? This was predestined. You're going to a predestined territory. For some of you guys, you have to break off this bond in order to go into this predestined territory. Because if you stay in this bond, what you are telling the universe, you're telling the universe, yeah, I don't matter. I don't matter at all. My needs don't matter. I don't need anything. I don't. And this is for people who feel like that they need their needs to be met. There's a need for you to say exactly what you need. And I don't feel like, before you get over there saying, I did, I don't feel like you didn't say it. I feel like the other person didn't hear them. The other person probably did not take them in consideration, like you took their needs in consideration. There's a person who does not take your needs in consideration. There's something that has not, this is an ongoing cycle. Like you already got to the 8th. Staying in this place, you would have got something that would have been fulfillment for both of you. Or if this is a relationship, for everybody involved. You got the 8 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is wish fulfillment. The Ten of Cups is ultimate fulfillment. You should be on the road of happiness. This should have made you happy. And I feel like there could be another person that's like, well, why aren't they happy? I thought they would be happy. And this is because this person was happy. And they kind of just all automatically expected you to be happy. And they didn't never look at the relationship outside of themselves. They looked at the relationship just for them only. And I do feel like these one-sided relationships are coming to an end. Okay? Just for, and this is going to be really, really good. It's happening in our month. I do feel like we are going to be closing off, you know, the month of October in a brand new place. It's almost giving like the reinvention of Libra, because Libra is usually the hostess with the mostest. It's the one who has to listen to everybody because she's justice. She has to feel what everybody's feeling because she has to come up with a verdict at the end of the day, and she wants to be fair. And there is a need for that type of cycle. That cycle is going like, it's the reinvention of Libra. Period. That's the name of the video. So you're going into this new cycle. The Wheel of Fortune. Coming on out. And look at this. This is a beautiful reading here. Going into this new cycle of reinvention. And here you are with the Wheel of Fortune and things completely change. And I don't feel like things completely change like your environment. I feel like you completely change. For some of you, this is the reinvention. This is the cycle that you're going into, and you are going to, God is like, I needed you to get to this point. I needed you to get here. I needed you to feel that. I needed you to feel. That is what I needed you to feel. Some of you guys desensitize yourself to hurt. You desensitize yourself to not getting your needs met. You desensitize yourself to not getting what you asked for. You desensitize yourself. And Spirit needed you to get so fed up. You may cuss a person out. And you may think that something may be like, okay, this is war. This is, oh, I did a bad thing. Like, the angels are praising, like, finally, Libra. Finally. You got mad enough to say what you need. You got mad enough to speak your truth. You got angry enough to actually set a fucking boundary. Thank you. You've graduated. This was the test. As fucked up as it may sound, because the Eight of Cups is not an easy place to be in. As fucked up as something may sound, this was the test. Like, you know the saying, like, you know, you can only take but so much. You can take a lot of stuff. And you pride yourself on taking a lot of stuff. But Spirit needed you to get to a point where you got so angry that you chose yourself. You see what your shadow is teaching you to do? You got angry off the first cup. But you said, nah, chill, shadow. Chill out. We can compromise. Chill out. You good. It ain't that bad. Second cup. Chill, shadow. Chill out, shadow. Hold on, shadow. Wait. Be rational. Wait a minute. Third cup. Chill out, shadow. And for some of you guys, you need to kind of like go to those people who you can't stand because they irritate your shadow, because they are a physical manifestation of your shadow, and they don't take no shit. And that may be a person where you're like, dang, they can be so rude all the time or so unfriendly. You know, we the friend. We want to be friendly all the time. But there's a person here that demands their respect. And I feel like there's somebody who's in your life that demands their respect, and you just probably need to go to them and say, you know what? Thank you. Just thank you. Or there's a need for you to kind of like go into your shadow and tell your shadow, you know what? I'm sorry. You were right. You were right from the first cup when you said, this shit don't feel right. I'm not feeling this. And I didn't listen to you. And I do feel like that is why you probably don't trust yourself, because you feel like your shadow keeps on taking you out of bonds, and all you want to do is be connected. And you feel like, okay, the moment that I find somebody that I like, my shadow got some shit to say about them. My shadow don't like them. My shadow was like, hell no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm. I'm forever going something. I know I'm not the only one. I'm forever going something. And this is the reinvention of you. Okay? Like, awaken the bitch. The bitch has woken up. Okay? Now you got the world card. All right, the world card is here, and this is completion. So this is a phase, and I feel like something's gonna be happening quick. For some of you guys, you already started this. You like, I did that last week. The process of it, though, of listening to your shadow, your needs being met, that is the thing that I really that grinds my gears about us, and I do this too. We have a problem with speaking our needs, with what it is that we need, no matter what age you are. You could be 18, you could be 54. We have a problem with speaking the things that we need. And the thing that pisses me off about that is we go above and beyond to meet other people's needs. I'm the type of friend, if you need something, I got you. Just the type of person. I love to be helpful in a certain type of way. I love to help people. I feel like that's a part of my purpose. I love to serve. I love if I see a person in need, sometimes you don't even have to ask me, and I'm going to be there for you. And I do feel like the fact that a lot of times you don't have to ask a Libra, because a Libra's overthinking, we always in our shit. We feel like I shouldn't have to ask. You should know. You should have known from the first cup. Just like my shadow was talking to me, your conscience should have been talking to you. Your conscience should have been at least talking to you by the fifth cup. Just like how my shadow was saying, get her, get him, finish him, finish. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh shit. I be having a ball. See? That's my higher self says, stop playing. Stop playing. Get through the reading. Your shadow was saying, finish him. And you like, no, I'm not gonna finish him. I'm not gonna do that. Leave the job. Leave. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And you finally get up the strength to do it. So however you get the strength to do it, we could talk about what's right, wrong all day, and you probably gonna go in your head and say, I was wrong for doing this, I was right for doing this, I was wrong for doing it. You gonna do that. That's your way of doing things. But at least you get to the point where you're fed up to walk, and you walk right into destiny. You walk right into something. When I tell you, the destiny, and we already said the fates, the destiny that you walk into is beautiful. It's a dream. It's a dream come true. This is life-changing success, life-changing love, a life-changing environment. This is you walk right into your life changing completely. You understand that when you're shot, when something ain't right, this is when it ain't right in my spirit. When something ain't right in my spirit, I'm going to start listening to her. I'm going to start listening to her because she knows what she's talking about. That's probably my great grandmother. That's like, baby, that ain't right. We don't like that. I don't. Yeah, your shadow is very, very wise. That's why from the little things you may get something like, I don't like that. Start speaking. Start letting her speak. I don't like that. Why, girl? Why you don't like that, girl? What do you do? What's bothering you, girl? That's why also some vent sessions are going to be really, really good for you going forward. Like you need those people. You can't vent. You can vent on. You can write. If you don't have nobody to vent to, you can definitely write. But let your shadow breathe. You're going to understand your shadow ain't staring you. Your shadow is protecting you. Your shadow is trying to stop you from getting here every time and then kind of like letting the animal come out. So you go to this life-changing, you go through this life-changing destiny, this fate, all of these great things happening to you, the wheels turning in your favor, everything just start happening. You start getting deals, you start getting, everything just start happening for you. It's because you started choosing you. You started to choose you instead of them, your feelings instead of their feelings. Then you go into this moment of completion. You're going into a whole new world. Okay, so the life-changing event happens here. And I feel like when this life-changing event happens here, this is going to be the test too. This is the middle. For some of you guys, you are here in the 10. A lot of us are in the 10 right now. We are seeing our life change for the better. We're seeing all of the destiny and the fate, and we're like, oh, we love it here. We love it here. We love it. Things are changing completely. We're getting the love that we want. We're getting the friendships that we want. We're in the environments that we want. We got the money that we want. We got the clothes, okay? We got the clothes. We wearing the designers, okay? We got the perfumes, the smell goods, all right? We got the furniture that we want. Everything, we getting the things that it is that we want. And when your life start changing, you might, when you get into that feeling of change, it feels so good. But you kind of want to lean back onto what you're comfortable with because that change is scary too. So I do feel like that after the change, the real test is going to be the completion of you stepping into the unknown. The change is happening, but there's a need for you to step right on into it. And this is all coming from this Nine of Pentacles, which really is happening here is the Nine of Pentacles. It is the financial success. It is the confidence, okay? But it is also the contentment with yourself, with all of you. Instead of hushing down a part of yourself that in a couple of years or a couple of months gonna run up on somebody. You know that very thing that kind of hit you that you wasn't comfortable with, that's gonna be the very thing that kind of you talk about. It always happens that way. It's the very first thing that happens that time. You like, I don't really like this. Then next thing you know, when you had enough, you either blow up about the first thing that you really didn't like. Have you realized that yet? Or am I tripping? So this is the contentment. This is what it takes to be in relationship with yourself. This is it. This is the beauty of it. This is the good, the bad, the ugly of being in. This is it, of you being in complete contentment, of you validating yourself, of you giving yourself what it is that you need. What do you need here? You taking care of home. That's the meaning of taking care of home. You take care of home and you look good doing it. Like for some of you guys, the money has rolled in, okay? The money has rolled in. You have some lavish things, some luxury items and stuff like that. Like, you're doing very, very good for yourself, and you should be very happy about it. All right, so this completion may be scary, but this completion leads you into some destiny. It leads you into this thing that is going to change your life, because not your outside is changing. The inside of you is changing, and now you can manifest so many different things. You manifest people that listen to you. You manifest people who love you for you unconditionally, because you start loving you for you. Your shadow is just not the person that's just trying to just start stuff. My shadow, that's my friend. That's my bulldog right there. That's my pit bull. And my pit bull feel like it smell you. If it seemed like something is funny over here. And I'm going to listen to my pit bull, because my pit bull had my back. Okay? For some of you guys, you don't need to get to the 8 of Cups to feel like something ain't serving you emotionally. And your shadow is going to show you how to notice the first cup. You might ask yourself, why didn't I leave? Why didn't I get this the first time? Your shadow will be like, I'm going to teach you. You just got to stop ignoring me. Okay, so that is your reading. I hope this reading resonates. If it does, make sure you give this reading a big thumbs up, and make sure you guys are subscribed. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.